So working with that set of handouts, we're going to show how to take standard notation in any key and convert it to Dulcimer Tab. First step is to identify what key the original source notation is in, and we're going to do that by looking at the number of sharp signs which look like pound signs, or flat signs which kind of look like lowercase b's in the first measure, and then we'll match that up with the mapping tables that I handed out to figure out what key it is. And then we're going to go through and convert the single note melody line from using those mapping sheets. If it has an M in front of the fret number, that M means middle string. Otherwise, if there is no M in front of it, it's going to be on the melody string or the treble string. So that's the pages 2A and 2B in your packet. So let's look at our example. Here's an arrangement of a blank music for Wayfaring Stranger. Then we're going to figure out what key this original music is in, and we do that by looking at the number of sharps and flats signs in this first measure. We see one flat sign. So we have these mapping tables. There's one that has all of the sharp keys, 0 through 6 sharps. And since this is a flat sign, we're going to look at this other table that shows all the 0 through 6 flats. And so I look for the measure that has one flat. And I see that that's right here. Measure 2, it has one flat sign. So this is the measure that we're going to be concerned with. We'll just blow it up here so we can see it easily. So the very first note is one space below the bottom line. First two notes actually are one space below the bottom line. So I go to the sheet and I look for the note that is one space below the bottom line. That's right here, and down below here it says M1. So that means the middle string at the first fret. So I'm going to go back to my blank tab here, and I'm going to write a 1 on the middle string. And then the next note is the same note. I'm going to write another 1 right here. Okay, the next step is going to be to transpose the backup chord names from the original key to the key of D, and we'll use that using one of the chord transposition charts. In this case, since it's a flat key, we'll use the transposing chart with the flats, which is this table right here. And so we have all the flat keys, and then at the top here we have the key of D. So we're going to find the chord in this row that has one flat, and then change the chord name to the corresponding chord from the key of D in the same column. So we go over here, and the first chord name here is a D minor. So we look at this row, we find the D, and it's in the 6th column. So we find that in the same column in the key of D is B. So that D minor becomes a B minor. So we go over here, we cross out the D minor, and we write in B minor. The next chord right. So now we have to figure out what frets to put on the middle and the bass string to go with the melody line. And to do that, we'll use the chord speller to figure out what notes we need to put on the middle and bass string for that chord. And then we'll use the DAD Dulcimer fretboard chart to find out where we can find those notes on the Dulcimer fretboard tuned DAD. So that's this page right here. So this is our chord speller, so we'll figure out what chord it is, then look in these columns to find what notes are in that particular chord, and then we'll use this fretboard chart to find out where we can find those notes that we can reach from wherever the melody note is. So the first chord is right here, and it's a B minor chord, and it's under the word poor, and we have a 2 already on the melody string. So we go to our fretboard chart here. First we got to find out what notes are in a B minor chord. So we go to the row where the B is, go over to the column that says minor, and we see that the 3 notes we need for a B minor chord are B, D, and F sharp. And we also know that the melody note is already at the 2nd fret. So the 2nd fret on the melody string is an F sharp. So that means we need B's and D's on the middle or bass string. So we look at our fretboard chart here, and where can we find either a B note or a D note on the middle string or the bass string? Well, the B note at the first, the note at the 1st fret of the middle string is a B, and then that means we're left with finding a D note on the bass string. Well, don't forget your open string, so the open bass string is a D. So if we put a 0 on the bass and a 1 on the middle, that would give us our B minor chord with B, D, and F sharp. So I will write 0 on the bass string and a 1 on the middle.